Hi, our lesson today is about expressing concession. We express concession with though, although, even though, in spite of, despite, in spite of the fact that, despite the fact that. How do you use them? How do we use these connectors? We have though, although, even though, in spite of the fact that, despite the fact that. All of them have the same meaning. In Arabic, رغم. En français, malgré. We have also in spite of and despite. Both of them في زوج المعنى تاعهم رغم. طريقة استخدام تاعهم يتبدل. These ones here are used with verb phrase, and these two are used with noun phrase. So, though, although, even though, in spite of the fact that, despite the fact that, plus verb phrase, which means plus subject plus verb. In spite of, despite, plus noun phrase. Noun phrase. Let's see some examples. Though he was in danger, he was very calm. Though he was in danger, he was very calm. بالرغم من أنه كان في خطر كان calm. As you see here, though is used with a verb phrase plus subject plus verb. Another example. He was very calm, although he was in danger. Same example, but we changed the link word though, we put it in the middle, but we changed the second clause and we put it in the beginning. بدلنا la deuxième partie درناها هي الأولى بعد درنا la première partie. So although نقدروا نديروها في بداية الجملة ونقدروا نديروها في الوسط تاع الجملة، ولكن الاستعمال تاعها ما يتغيرش. although plus subject plus verb. سواء عنا although ولا عنا les autres though, even though, in spite of the fact that, and despite the fact that نلقاو subject plus verb. هذو الأولى. تانيين we use them with noun phrase. Noun phrase. Let's see here an example. In spite of being in danger, he was very calm. بالرغم من الخطر اللي كان فيه. Being in danger. As you see here, we can use the gerund ing. نقدر نستخدمه ing. شعنا لهنا عندنا was. نفس الجملة. Was in danger. Was هي to be in the past. صافي be نديرو be plus ing. In spite of being ما نديروش subject plus verb، نقلعو السوجي والverb ونعوضوهم ب in spite of being ونكملو لا phrase تاعنا. There is another way of using in spite of. He was very calm in spite of the danger. In spite of the danger. The danger is a noun plus noun. As you see, نقدر نستخدمو being, be plus the gerund ing, in spite of being ونكملو the other details of the sentence. ولا نقدر نديرو in spite of plus noun, the danger. هنا ما نسحقوش السوجي والفعل. Despite the danger, he was very calm. نفس الجملة عودنا despite درناها في الديبي. Despite in spite of 10 نقدروا نديروهم في الديبي تاع الجملة ونقدروا نديروهم في الوسط مع الحفاظ على المعنى تاع الجملة. Despite the danger. Despite malgré plus noun. there is not a subject here. هنا نسيبو السوجي والverb. There is not a verb, sorry. هنا نسيبو السوجي ونسيبو الverb. ولكن في la première partie اللي هنايا نلقاو noun phrase. Other examples to practice. The exam was easy. I failed. The exam was easy. I failed or I failed the exam. Even though بالرغم الامتحان كان سهل وخسرت. Even though malgré تولي عنا. Even though قلنا even though نستخدموها مع subject plus verb. Even though the exam was easy, put comma, it was a full stop, we put comma here, I failed it. في هادو ما عندناش تبدال تاع tense، ما بدلوش لو طون تاع الفيرب. Even though the exam was easy, I failed. Second example, the exam was difficult. I did well in spite of. The exam was difficult. الإكزامان كان difficile صعب. I did well. خدمت. In spite of. بالرغم. In spite of, we use with it a noun phrase. What do we say here? We can use was to be being. We say in spite of هذه ما نسحقوهاش. was ترجع being. being difficult comma I did well. نقدر نكتبوها بطريقة واحدة أخرى. نقدر نكتبوها بالطريقة هذه plus noun. نقدر نقولوا in spite of the difficulty and no difficult هنا كانت adjective رجعناها difficulty noun. The difficulty of the exam I did well. هنا in spite of وبيان نديرو being نكملو لا فراس تاعنا ما نسحقوش السوجي بلاس فيرب. وهنا ولا نقولو in spite of the difficulty هنا نديرو noun. وهنا being plus the complete of the sentence. There is another example. Although he did many efforts, the result was unacceptable. Although he did many efforts, the result was unacceptable. We can replace, or we will write the sentence replacing although, which is used with a verb phrase. بنعاودو نكتبو نفس الجملة ونبدلو although اللي نستخدمو مع subject plus verb نستخدمو despite اللي هي تجي مع noun phrase. How do we do it? Despite نحوسو على الاسم effort ما نسحقوش السوجي ما نسحقوش الفعل. Despite the efforts or my efforts, sorry, or the efforts, both are correct. My efforts the result was unacceptable. Despite my efforts قلعنا السوجي وقلعنا الفعل. Despite many efforts or my efforts, or his efforts, many, not my, many efforts, the result was unacceptable. There is another way, despite. Same one, but in another way. We can say, despite, you have he becomes his. It becomes despite his efforts. Then we complete the same sentence. المهم هنا despite موراها ما يكونش subject plus verb, a noun phrase. We have also another way to write despite. We say despite the fact that. نزيدوا لها the fact that. despite وحدها نزيدوا لها the fact that تولي كيما هذه despite the fact that. معناتها نقدروا نستخدموها plus subject plus verb. It will be despite the fact that he did many efforts, the result was unacceptable.